Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest battles you will ever fight is not the battle for success, money, or recognition. It is the battle for peace within yourself. Every single day, people will test your patience. Some will misunderstand you. Some will disrespect you. Some will criticize you unfairly. And if you are not careful, you will spend your entire life emotionally controlled by people who never deserved that power over you in the first place. There are people today who wake up angry. Angry at their family. Angry at their coworkers. Angry at the traffic. Angry at the past. Angry at words spoken years ago. Their heart is heavy because they have allowed bitterness to become a permanent resident in their soul. But you were not created to live chained to frustration and irritation. You were created to live with strength, wisdom, calmness, and self-control. The truth is this: anger does more damage to the person carrying it than to the person who caused it. When anger controls your life, your joy disappears. Your peace disappears. Your clarity disappears. You begin reacting emotionally instead of responding wisely. And many people destroy relationships, opportunities, and They have their own health because they never learn how to master their emotions. You cannot control what people do, but you can control how you respond. That is where true power begins. A weak person reacts to everything. A strong person learns to remain steady even in difficult situations. Anybody can shout. Anybody can lose control. Anybody can slam a door or say hurtful words. But it takes maturity to stay calm when your emotions are screaming at you to explode. Many times, the reason people become easily bothered is because they expect too much from imperfect people. They expect everyone to understand them, appreciate them, and treat them fairly all the time. But human beings are flawed. Sometimes people will disappoint you. Sometimes they will say things without thinking. Sometimes they will project their pain onto you. And if you tie your peace to the behavior of others, your peace will constantly be broken. You must learn to stop taking everything personally. Not every negative comment deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves your emotional energy. Some people are fighting battles inside themselves that have nothing to do with you. Their anger, jealousy, negativity. Why? Or criticism often comes from their own wounded heart. If someone throws dirt at you, you do not have to pick it up and carry it with you all day. There is freedom in learning to let things go quickly. Some people replay offenses in their mind over and over again. They rehearse conversations that happened years ago. They relive painful moments until those moments poison their present life. But peace comes when you decide that your future is too valuable to be destroyed by your past. You do not have to attend every argument you are invited to. You do not have to prove yourself to everyone. You do not have to win every debate. Sometimes the strongest response is silence. Sometimes wisdom means walking away. There are moments when protecting your peace is more important than protecting your pride. When somebody offends you, pause before reacting. Give yourself time to think. Words spoken in anger often create scars that last for years. Many people regret what they said during moments of rage, but by then the damage has already been done. A calm mind sees clearly, but an angry mind sees destruction everywhere. You also have to guard your thoughts carefully. Anger usually begins mind before it appears in actions. If you constantly think negative thoughts about people, irritation will grow inside you. But if you train your mind toward understanding, patience, and compassion, your reactions will begin to change. A peaceful life starts with peaceful thinking. Remember this? Every person you meet is carrying some kind of burden. Some are hiding heartbreak. Some are dealing with fear. Some are struggling financially. Some are battling loneliness. When you realize this, compassion begins to replace irritation. Instead of immediately becoming angry, you begin asking yourself, what pain might this person be carrying? That does not mean you allow people to disrespect or abuse you. Peace does not mean weakness. You can set boundaries while still keeping your heart free from hatred. You can walk away from toxic behavior without carrying bitterness in your spirit. Wisdom knows when to stay, when to leave, and when to remain silent. One of the greatest signs of emotional maturity is learning how to stay unbothered by things that once ruined your day. There was a time when every criticism upset you, every disagreement offended you, every delay frustrated you. Growth changes you. You begin realizing that many things simply do not matter as much as you once thought they did. Life is too short to spend it angry all the time. Your energy is precious. Your peace is precious. Your joy is precious. Do not waste those gifts on constant frustration. Some people are so focused on what annoys them that they completely miss the beauty of life happening around them. Choose peace daily. Choose patience daily. Choose understanding daily. Not because people always deserve it, but because your heart deserves freedom. Refuse to allow negativity to rent space in your mind. Refuse to let temporary emotions control permanent decisions. The calmest people are not people without problems. They are people who have learned where true strength comes from. True strength is not found in revenge. It is found in self-control. It is found in discipline. It is found in the ability to remain steady when everything around you feels chaotic. And every day, you will have another opportunity to practice this. Someone may test your patience tomorrow. Someone may speak harshly to you. Someone may misunderstand your intentions, but in that moment, remember who you are. Guarding, remember that peace is power. Remember that calmness is strength. Remember that not every battle deserves your attention. When you stop allowing people to control your emotions, you become free. When you stop reacting to every offense, you become stronger. And when you finally learn to protect your inner peace above everything else, you begin living with a level of wisdom, stability, and joy that no person can take away from you. Most people believe strength is about power, control, or having the loudest voice in the room. They think strength is winning every argument, proving every point, or making sure nobody ever disrespects them. But real strength is much deeper than that. True strength is revealed in the moments when you have every reason to lose your temper, yet you choose to remain calm. It is revealed when emotions rise inside you, but wisdom speaks louder than anger. Anybody can react emotionally. Anybody can shout when they feel hurt or offended. But very few people have learned how to master themselves. One angry moment can destroy years of trust. One emotional reaction can damage relationships, opportunities, and peace that took years to build. That is why emotion. Control is one of the greatest forms of maturity a person can ever develop. People who cannot control their emotions become prisoners of them. Their mood changes with every situation. Their peace disappears every time someone says something negative. They allow other people to determine how they feel every single day. When you are emotionally controlled by everyone around you, you lose your freedom. One rude comment ruins your entire day. One disagreement steals your peace. One betrayal fills your heart with bitterness for years. But when you learn self-control, something powerful begins to happen inside you. You stop reacting to every little thing. You stop giving people the power to disturb your spirit. You begin to realize that protecting your peace is more important than proving your point. There will always be difficult people in life. Some people are naturally negative. Some are critical. Some are disrespectful. Some try to provoke you because they are carrying frustration within themselves. If you react emotionally every single time, you will spend your entire life exhausted. Wisdom teaches you that not every situation deserves your response. Not every offense deserves your attention. Sometimes silence is the greatest sign of strength. A person who lacks emotional control becomes dangerous to themselves. Anger clouds judgment. It causes people to speak words they later regret. It pushes people to make decisions based on temporary emotions instead of lasting wisdom. Many broken relationships today were not destroyed by hate, but by uncontrolled anger. People said things they could never take back. They reacted before thinking. They allowed emotions to lead them instead of wisdom. Self-control does not mean you never feel anger. Every human being experiences frustration, disappointment, and hurt. The difference is that mature people know how to manage those emotions instead of being ruled by them. They pause before reacting. They think before speaking. They understand that emotions are temporary, but consequences can last a lifetime. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away from an argument. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is remain calm while someone else loses control. Weakness reacts immediately. Strength remains steady under pressure. Anyone can explode like fire, but it takes discipline to stay calm in difficult moments. The peaceful person is not someone who never faces problems. The peaceful person is someone who has learned how to stay grounded even when problems surround them. Life will test your patience repeatedly. There will be delays, misunderstandings, betrayals, disappointments, and unfair situations. But every challenge becomes an opportunity to grow stronger emotionally. You must train your mind daily. If you constantly feed your thoughts with negativity, anger will naturally grow inside you. But if you feed your mind with patience, wisdom, understanding, and calmness, your reactions will slowly begin to change. Inner peace is not built overnight. It is developed through daily discipline. Many people spend years trying to control others while never learning how to control themselves. But the greatest victory in life is mastering your own emotions. When you can remain calm in situations that once made you angry, you begin to experience real freedom. You stop carrying emotional burdens everywhere you go. You stop allowing temporary situations to steal lasting peace from your heart. And when you finally reach the point where you no longer react to every insult, every criticism, and every difficult person, you discover a level of strength that most people never experience in their entire lives. One of the greatest secrets to living a peaceful life is learning not to take everything personally. Many people walk through life carrying emotional wounds that were created because they allowed the opinions, actions, and attitudes of others to define their inner peace. They become offended too quickly, hurt too deeply, and bothered too easily because they expect every person to treat them perfectly. But the truth is, people are imperfect. Human beings make mistakes. They speak without thinking. They react from their own pain, insecurities, and frustrations. And when you understand this deeply, you stop allowing every negative encounter to disturb your spirit. There are people who will misunderstand you no matter how pure your intentions are. There are people who will criticize you even when you are doing your best. There are people who will project their own unhappiness onto you because they have not found peace within themselves. If you spend your life reacting emotionally to every opinion and every negative word, you will live exhausted and frustrated. Not every comment deserves a response. Not every disagreement deserves your energy. Some people are committed to misunderstanding you because they are fighting battles inside themselves that you cannot see. Their negativity is often a reflection of their own inner struggles, not your worth. The moment you realize that, you stop carrying unnecessary emotional burdens. Many people lose their peace because they seek approval from everyone around them. They want everybody to understand them, appreciate them, and agree with them. But that kind of life leads to constant disappointment. You were never meant to build your confidence on the opinions of people whose thoughts change every day. If your happiness depends on human approval, your happiness will always be unstable. Peace begins when you stop trying to control how everybody sees you. Some people may judge you unfairly. Some may criticize choices they do not understand. Some may speak against you without knowing your heart. But you cannot spend your entire life defending yourself against every negative voice. There comes a point where maturity teaches you to remain focused instead of distracted by unnecessary opinions. When you become emotive, only secure within yourself, other people's negativity loses its power over you. Their criticism no longer controls your mood. Their rejection no longer destroys your confidence. Their bad attitude no longer steals your joy. Why? Because you finally understand that your peace is too valuable to hand over to unstable people. There are individuals who become offended over the smallest situations because they assume everything is about them. Someone speaks harshly, and they carry the pain for weeks. Someone ignores them, and they immediately feel rejected. Someone disagrees with them, and they become angry. But not everything people do is a personal attack against you. Sometimes people are tired. Sometimes they are stressed. Sometimes they are dealing with private struggles they never talk about. When you learn to give people grace instead of instantly reacting with offense, your heart becomes lighter. Compassion begins replacing irritation. Patience begins replacing frustration. Understanding begins replacing anger. And suddenly, situations that once disturbed your peace no longer have the same power over you. This does not mean you allow toxic behavior into your life without bow. Aries, wisdom still requires discernment. You can distance yourself from negativity while keeping bitterness out of your heart. You can walk away from unhealthy relationships without carrying hatred in your spirit. There is a difference between protecting your peace and hardening your heart. Some people waste years replaying painful moments in their mind. They relive conversations, betrayals, and insults repeatedly until those memories poison their present life. But healing begins when you decide that your future matters more than your past pain. You cannot move forward while constantly feeding old wounds. One of the greatest forms of emotional freedom is learning how to let things go quickly. The stronger you become emotionally, the less easily offended you become. You stop reacting to every insult. You stop explaining yourself to everyone. You stop allowing negativity to live rent-free in your mind. There is tremendous peace in reaching the point where you no longer feel the need to respond to everything. Silence becomes strength. Calmness becomes power. Wisdom becomes your protection. And the more secure you become within yourself, the less the behavior of others will ever be able to shake the peace inside your heart. Emotional maturity is one of the rarest qualities in the world today. Many people grow older physically, but they never truly grow emotionally. They still react impulsively, hold grudges for years, become offended easily, and allow temporary emotions to control permanent decisions. But real growth begins when a person learns how to protect their inner peace instead of constantly feeding emotional chaos. A mature person understands that peace is valuable. They realize that not every battle is worth fighting, and not every argument deserves a response. There comes a point in life where you become tired of unnecessary drama, constant conflict, and emotional exhaustion. You begin craving calmness more than chaos. You begin valuing silence more than noise. You begin understanding that protecting your heart is one of the most important responsibilities you have. Many people destroy their own peace because they refuse to let go of bitterness. They replay painful memories repeatedly in their minds. They carry resentment from past relationships, betrayals, disappointments, and failures. Every time they remember those moments, the anger becomes alive again. But emotional maturity teaches you that carrying bitterness does not punish the other person, it punishes you. Bitterness drains your joy. It steals your energy. It keeps your mind trapped in places your life was supposed to move beyond long ago. You cannot live peacefully while constantly feeding resentment inside your soul. At some point, healing requires letting go. Not because what happened was acceptable, but because your peace matters too much to keep carrying pain that no longer serves your future. Emotionally mature people also understand the importance of patience. They know that life will not always go according to their plans. Delays will happen. Disappointments will happen. Misunderstandings will happen. But instead of reacting emotionally every time something goes wrong, they learn how to remain steady during difficult moments. Patience is not weakness. Patience is strength under control. It is the ability to stay calm when circumstances try to frustrate you. It is trusting that not every problem needs an immediate emotional reaction. Sometimes wisdom requires waiting, observing, and responding carefully instead of reacting impulsively. There are Mom. TS in life when silence becomes your greatest protection. Many people speak too quickly when they are angry, hurt, or offended. They say things they later regret because emotions were controlling their words. But mature individuals understand that silence can prevent unnecessary damage. They know that temporary emotions should never be trusted with permanent decisions. Protecting your inner peace also means becoming careful about what you allow into your mind and heart. Constant negativity, toxic conversations, gossip, and unnecessary conflict slowly poison the spirit. You cannot surround yourself with chaos every day and expect peace to grow within you. Emotional maturity requires discernment. It requires recognizing what strengthens your spirit and what drains it. Sometimes protecting your peace means walking away from unhealthy environments. Sometimes it means setting boundaries with people who constantly bring negativity into your life. And sometimes it means simply refusing to engage in drama that has nothing to do with your purpose. Not every invitation deserves your acceptance, and not every conflict deserves your participation. One of the greatest signs of growth is what? Things that once upset you no longer have the power to disturb your heart. There was a time when criticism ruined your day. There was a time when rejection broke your confidence. There was a time when every disagreement felt personal. But maturity changes your perspective. You begin realizing that your peace is too precious to place in the hands of unstable circumstances or unstable people. Life becomes lighter when you stop carrying emotional weight that was never meant to stay with you forever. Forgiveness becomes easier. Patience becomes stronger. Wisdom becomes clearer. You stop reacting emotionally to everything around you because you finally understand that inner peace is one of the greatest treasures a person can possess. And when emotional maturity truly begins growing inside you, you no longer feel the need to prove yourself constantly, defend yourself endlessly, or fight battles that do not contribute to your purpose. You become calmer, wiser, stronger, and more focused because you have finally learned that peace is not found in controlling others, it is found in mastering yourself. One of the greatest transformations that can happen in a person's life is when they stop allowing temporary situations to steal permanent peace from their heart. Every day, life presents opportunities to become frustrated, offended, impatient, and emotionally drained. There will always be delays, rude people, disappointments, unexpected problems, and moments that test your patience. But emotionally wise people understand something powerful. Peace is not the absence of problems, it is the ability to remain calm in the middle of them. Most people live emotionally reactive lives. Their emotions rise and fall based on circumstances. If things go well, they feel happy. If things go wrong, they become angry. If someone praises them, they feel confident. If someone criticizes them, they lose peace instantly. Their emotional condition depends entirely on what is happening around them. But true stability comes when your inner peace is no longer controlled by external circumstances. You cannot build a peaceful life while allowing every small inconvenience to control your emotions. Some people become irritated over the smallest things. Traffic ruins their mood. Delays frustrate them. Minor disagreements disturb their entire day. They carry stress everywhere they go because, they have never learned how to separate temporary frustrations from lasting peace. The truth is, many things people worry about today will not even matter a year from now. Yet they allow those temporary moments to consume their thoughts, emotions, and energy completely. Emotional wisdom teaches you to pause and ask yourself, is this situation truly worth losing my peace over? Most of the time, the answer is no. A peaceful person learns how to slow down emotionally before reacting. Instead of immediately responding with anger, they breathe, think, and choose wisdom. They understand that calm decisions produce far better results than emotional reactions. One moment of patience can prevent years of regret. There is also great strength in learning acceptance. Not everything in life will happen according to your plans. Sometimes doors close unexpectedly. Sometimes people disappoint you. Sometimes life moves slower than you hoped. But maturity teaches you to stop fighting every circumstance emotionally. Some battles cannot be solved through frustration. Some situations simply require patience, trust, and endurance. Many people suffer because they spend too much time trying to control things that are beyond their control. They want to control people's opinions, actions, attitudes, and choices. But the more they try to force everything around them to go perfectly, the more frustrated they become. Peace begins when you stop trying to control everything and start focusing on what you can control: your attitude, your reactions, your thoughts, and your choices. You also have to become careful about where you place your focus. Whatever you focus on grows stronger in your mind. If you constantly focus on problems, negativity will grow. If you constantly focus on offense, anger will grow. But if you focus on gratitude, patience, and wisdom, peace will begin growing inside you. A mature person understands that every difficult situation does not require emotional drama. Sometimes things simply need time. Sometimes people need grace. Sometimes silence is more powerful than arguing. And sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is release the situation completely and move forward peacefully. There are people who spend their entire lives emotionally exhausted because they never learned how to protect their mental and emotional energy. They involve themselves in why conflict. They react to every criticism. They carry every burden emotionally. But peace comes when you finally realize that you do not have to carry everything. Life becomes much lighter when you stop overreacting to temporary storms. You begin understanding that difficult moments come and go. Pain comes and goes. Problems come and go. But your inner peace should not disappear every time life becomes uncomfortable. As emotional maturity grows inside you, your reactions begin changing. Situations that once made you angry no longer have the same power over you. Delays no longer frustrate you as deeply. Criticism no longer shakes your confidence as easily. You begin responding with calmness instead of chaos because wisdom has become stronger than emotion. And when you finally reach the point where your peace is no longer controlled by circumstances, you discover a level of emotional freedom, stability, and strength that changes the entire direction of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, life will always give you reasons to become angry, frustrated, and emotionally exhausted. There will always be difficult people, unfair situations, disappointments, and moments that test your patience. But the quality of your life will not be determined by what happens around you. It will be determined by what happens within you. The strongest people are not those who never face problems. They are the ones who refuse to let those problems control their spirit. When you learn to control your emotions, stop taking everything personally, and protect your inner peace, you begin living with a freedom that many people never experience. You stop wasting energy on unnecessary conflict. You stop allowing temporary emotions to make permanent decisions. You stop carrying bitterness that only poisons your own heart. Instead, you begin walking in wisdom, patience, calmness, and emotional strength. There is incredible power in remaining peaceful while the world around you feels chaotic. There is incredible maturity in choosing silence over arguments, patience over frustration, and understanding over anger. Every moment you refuse to react emotionally is a moment you grow stronger. Every time you choose peace over conflict, you reclaim control over your life. Never forget this. People may test your patience, circumstances may challenge your emotions, and life may not always go according to your plans, but your peace is one of the greatest treasures you possess. Protect it carefully. Guard it daily. Do not hand it over to negativity, toxic people, or temporary situations. Because the moment you master your emotions is the moment you truly begin to master your life. And always remember, a peaceful mind is a powerful life.